Hello, thank you for joining us on ERi-TV. This is English news broadcast live from the headquarters in Asmara at exactly 10:30 p.m. local time. First, the top stars. Senior Eritrean delegation held talks with FMO Egypt. Activity assessment meeting of Swedish branch of National Union of Eritrean Women. 8 UN peacekeepers arrested for sexual exploitation in Democratic Republic of Congo. Russia's President Vladimir Putin visits Kyrgyzstan. Senior Eritrean delegation composed of Mr. Osman Saleh, Minister of Foreign Affairs, and Presidential Advisor Mr. Yamana Gabrab met today in Cairo with Egyptian Foreign Minister Samah Shukri. The aim of the meeting was to advance efforts to stop the war in Sudan and the suffering of the Sudan's people. The two sides discussed ways to unify the different initiatives with a view to strengthening the prospect of peaceful settlement. The two sides also exchanged views on the promotion of bilateral ties of cooperation between the two countries. The National Union of Eritrean Women in Swedish branch had a meeting to analyze its activities and develop future action plans. Ms. Saba Takhle, the head of the Union Swedish branch, provided a report on the objective state of the Union branch as well as the accomplishments and difficulties faced in the first half of 2023 at a meeting attended by heads of various association units. The report was the subject of a lengthy discussion among the participants who also approved a number of recommendations. Mr. Sirak Bahalibi, head of Community and Public Affairs at the Eritrean Embassy in the Scandinavian countries, virtually addressed the gathering and provided an overview of the role of diaspora nationals in national affairs. In the 6 administrative areas of the Adghiyah subzone, awareness-raising initiatives are being conducted regarding the rights of children and the repercussions of underage marriage. Ms. Medhanit Girmay, head of the Ministry of Labor and Social Welfare in the subzone, urged the public to increase their participation in order to recognize that children's rights are upheld and they are free to express their opinions. Various specialities gave briefing at the gathering on harmful practices in general and underage marriage in particular. The topics brought up at the meeting were thoroughly discussed by the participants, who also adopted a number of proposals such as implementing strict measures to prevent underage marriage and coordinating efforts to guarantee that children with disabilities have access to education. The subzone administrator, Mr. Habtai Tesfazgi, urged the public to increase involvement in the campaign to curb the practice of female genital mutilation, pointing out that it's everyone's duty to provide children with appropriate care. We'll be back with international news in a couple of seconds. Stay tuned. The United Nations mission in the Democratic Republic of Congo, MONUSCO, announced yesterday that it has taken strong measures against peacekeepers suspected of serious misconduct. According to internal documents from MONUSCO reviewed by AFP, 8 peacekeepers deployed in Beni in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo were arrested on October 1st, and the officer was suspended on October 8th as part of the case involving alleged sexual exploitation and violence. All of them belong to the South African contingent of the UN force and may be implicated in what internal reports describe as a systematic and widespread violation of the UN rules against exploitation and sexual abuse. The measures taken include suspension, detention, and confinement of the concerned peacekeepers, added MONUSCO, which strongly condemns such behaviors as being unworthy of United Nations personnel. The Democratic Republic of Congo government also demands an accelerated departure of the UN force starting from December of this year, as it accused the force of not having been able to put an end to the violence by armed groups after 25 years of presence. Russia's President Vladimir Putin arrives for a meeting with Kyrgyzstan's President Sadir Japarov in Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan, October 12, 2023. Russian President Vladimir Putin held talk in Kyrgyzstan today, a Central Asian nation with strong ties to Moscow, during what was his first foreign trip since the International Crime Court, ICC, issued an arrest warrant for him in March. The Kremlin chief has rarely traveled abroad since he sent troops into Ukraine in early 2022 and is not known to have left Russia since the ICC issued a warrant for him, accusing him of overseeing the illegal deportation of children from Ukraine. Russia does not recognize the ICC's jurisdiction and rejected its allegations. Putin attends a ceremony marking the 20th anniversary of the founding of Russia's Kant military airbase outside Bishkek, the Kyrgyz capital, a strategically important facility which allows Moscow to project power in the region. His visit coincides with the Russian-led security bloc holding military drill in Kyrgyzstan. The Russian leader is also due to travel to China next week for the Third Belt and Road Forum in Beijing. Neither Kyrgyzstan nor China are members of the ICC, which was established to prosecute war crimes. Now we have a quick recap of the top stories. Don't go away. Senior Eritrean delegation held talks with FM of Egypt. Activity assessment meeting of Swedish branch of National Union of Eritrean Women. 8 UN peacekeepers arrested for sexual exploitation in Democratic Republic of Congo. Russia's President Vladimir Putin visits Kyrgyzstan. It was me, Salim Brhano, with the news for tonight. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.